I really wonder what was the chemistry like in the dorm when you were, dorm mates together.
Well, in the beginning, of course, there were awkward moments, but we hit it off because they were able to help me with my classwork, with Mandarin and classical Chinese. But I also helped them improve their English. There were times when we would converse in Chinese and at times converse in English. So I also help them learn about uh, culture in other countries, including Beatles songs, and yeah, we talked about a lot of things, including love,
Yeah.
or love and courtship.
Well, then many of the details we will discuss off the record about your two roommates.
That's right.
This is in page 2. Cai Huosheng, a stocky 50-something staff officer of the Foreign Students Office, greeted me at the door. "You're the only student we are enrolling from the Philippines this year," he said, as I handed him the required documents. "Welcome, welcome." He volunteered to show me around for orientation. We walked past the library and a classroom building where scores of students were on a break. Most wore blue and green Mao jackets and baggy pants. They were lined up on the sidewalk doing calisthenics in sync with the staccato music blaring from the university's PA system.
That many of them eventually played a very important role in the government, in the party, in the business. Many of them are captains of industry now, or policymakers. And the best part, I think, for this elite, this new intellectual elite, is that they were not just bookish. They were not in the ivory tower just talking about theories, but they knew the problems that they had to deal with, and they tackled them using the education that they got from the institutions, but also guided by pragmatic, practical issues. So it was a perfect group of people, and I learned a lot about China's history, and about where China was going through the eyes of my Chinese classmates.
Tell me, how did you manage to do that? What has the education back in university, 1977, and the decades living in China taught you about how to function under different circumstances, but still true to your heart?
Learning about China's history uh, will help us understand China better. Um, it's a matter of capturing the nuances for me. So I looked at China not as a black and white, nor just a half empty glass. Uh, I've said that I've always tried to look at China as a glass half full, not half empty, because I saw China 40 years ago, 30, 50 years ago, as a virtually empty glass. Um, and I think that's important. I want my readers to look back and appreciate is how difficult the process had been. Yes, they had to make very difficult choices of opening up, but how to open up China and still maintain stability, social stability. And that was a very difficult balancing act. It remains China's challenge, how to adapt to changes and how to move forward while keeping a social stability which of course will give predictability to China's future.